During heavy winds, lichens which grow in the old-growth forests fall to the ground in abundance. Roosevelt elk, a known old-growth dependent species, use these lichens for food. During heavy snowfall, when other food sources are buried by the snow, this can be especially important. Just how critical this is to elk in terms of forage intake or dietary importance is not yet understood. What is perhaps the most well-known attributes of the Tsitika is where the river meets the ocean. Robson Bight, Michael Bigg Ecological Reserve, is the location where the highest concentration of killer whales known on Earth gather each year. One fascinating behavior displayed by the killer whales utilizing Robson Bight is the rubbing of their bodies on the smooth pebbles of the underwater beaches in the area. This behavior remains a mystery to researchers, as does why the whales have chosen this location. There is grave concern that logging and road construction in the lower Tsitika will affect the estuary and the killer whale's use of Robson Bight. Increased sediment and logging debris could have devastating results on the rubbing beaches as well as on fish habitat. Logging roads pushing towards the estuary would no doubt increase unauthorized public presence in the ecological reserve. Research has shown that whales are greatly affected by human presence on the shores of the rubbing beaches. In 1972, the British Columbia Fish and Wildlife Branch proposed that the entire Tsitika watershed should be made into an ecological reserve. The proposal stated, "This is the last untouched watershed on the east coast of Vancouver Island, and as such is an invaluable study area." In 1977, the BC government decided to open the Tsitika Valley to logging and appointed the Tsitika Planning Committee to prepare a multiple-use logging plan for the watershed. In 1979, the Tsitika Watershed Integrated Resource Plan was approved by the BC government, and MacMillan and Bloedel began building roads and logging in the upper Tsitika Valley. In 1980, the BC government established the Tsitika Follow-Up Committee as a watchdog to monitor the adherence of logging to the Integrated Resource Plan. The United Fishermen and Allied Workers Union representative refused to participate and stated that the cutting plan is totally incompatible with the preservation of the Tsitika as a wildlife, salmon, and recreational habitat, and we have no desire to preside over the desecration of the last major watershed area that fleetingly had some hope of retaining its natural state. In October of 1990, logging company MacMillan and Bloedel started the push to extend clear-cuts into the lower Tsitika. There they were met by determined citizens who protested the attempt to log this remaining old-growth sanctuary. For years since a logging go-ahead was given for the upper Tsitika, Catherine Creek has been the boundary marking the lower Tsitika, where tens of thousands of British Columbians have maintained that no development should go beyond. To the forest industry, pushing roads and clear-cuts past Catherine Creek and establishing a presence in this controversial area became an all-important tactic in trying to claim the lower Tsitika for logging.
We feel we've done everything that we can in the way of raising public awareness, showing the need and the justification for setting this area aside. The public supports us. They've supported our newspapers, our slideshows. We're doing everything we can within our mandate of public education and generating public pressure to save this area, and MacMillan and Bloedel is ignoring it all and is moving in any way to cut down trees. Why won't MacMillan and Bloedel wait for public hearings, getting the full spectrum of public input to see whether or not this is in the best interest of the public?
Again, the area that's being questioned right now is the area past 101. That's the area that's been identified as the area that needs further study in connection
By
with...
The public has identified Catherine Creek as the line.
Okay.
And this is what we're talking about here, is anything past Catherine Creek is into the area that many people believe should not be logged. So we're letting you know that you are steamrolling over public concerns over this by not waiting for the public information sessions. You're also steamrolling over the concerns of the native people.
So just for the record, we're at where the spur road into Block 101 forks off from the Tsitika main line. This is the spur road going to Block 101. If you're looking down Tsitika main line. What's that? There it goes. Christ. God. No old growth cedar bites the dust in the lower Tsitika. Location of the sweat lodge that was built by Chief Russell Cox's-Tyler. It has also been discovered by MacMillan and Bloedel, who have posted signs around it saying, "Do not disturb study area."
Over 30 people were arrested in the attempt to keep MacMillan and Bloedel clear-cuts out of the lower Tsitika. But in the end, the forestry giant was able to complete the falling of the hotly contested 27-hectare Block 101. What used to be a clear-cut-free wilderness area now has one scar marring the ancient forest. When areas are clear-cut, borders or edges are set up which have never had to take the full brunt of high winds. As a result, the forests bordering the clear-cuts begin to blow down. According to MacMillan and Bloedel, Block 101 was specifically designed to prevent blowdown using lessons learned from logging in the upper watershed, where clear-cuts now sprawl over 500 hectares in size. Just months after MacMillan and Bloedel clear-cut Block 101, blowdown began. As a result of building roads through a sensitive area near Block 101, an immense slide has continually washed sediment and debris into the valley bottom as well as the Tsitika River itself. Tons of rock have been trucked in an attempt to slow the impact road construction has had.
Where I first met you, you guys were following just on Block 101, and if you go across the road, at the end of that road and you look down, I didn't need to be assigned.